deep in the heart of the Pacific Northwest, where ancient pines stretched toward the heavens and fog wove through the underbrush like a living thing. Two Sasquatches roamed the wilds. Torok, the male, stood a towering 9 feet, his fur a deep chestnut that blended with the forest shadows. His mate, Lyra, was 7 feet 10 inches, her silver-streaked coat shimmering under moonlight. They were protectors of the wilderness, silent sentinels who watched over the balance of their domain one crisp autumn evening. As the sun dipped below the jagged peaks, Torok's keen ears caught a sound that didn't belong, a faint, trembling sob. Lyra froze beside him, her amber eyes narrowing. The couple exchanged a glance, their bond unspoken but absolute. They moved swiftly through the forest, their massive forms surprisingly silent. Guided by the cries in a small clearing, they found 3 human children huddled together, their faces streaked with dirt and tears. The eldest, a girl perhaps 12 named Mia, clutched her younger brother, Sam, who was no older than 8. Beside them, tiny Ella, barely 5, whimpered, clutching a tattered stuffed rabbit. Their clothes were torn, their backpacks muddied. Lost, Torok realized, sensing their fear like a bitter tang in the air. Lyra crouched low, her presence gentle despite her size. She let out a soft, rumbling hum, a sound that calmed the children's trembling. Mia's eyes widened, but she didn't scream. You're real," she whispered. Torok scanned the trees, his instincts prickling. Something else was near, something dangerous. Before he could signal Lyra, the ground shook. Trees parted with a crack, and a figure stepped into the clearing. A giant, 10 feet tall, with a mane of wild red hair and a beard like flames. His eyes glinted with malice, and his massive hands gripped a club carved from an oak trunk. The children screamed, scrambling behind Lyra. This was no Sasquatch, no creature of the forest balance. This was a rogue giant, a marauder who thrived on fear and destruction. "Who dares trespass in my territory?" the giant roared, his voice like a landslide. His gaze locked on the children. "These morsels are mine." Torok stepped forward, his chest rumbling with a deep growl. Lyra rose beside him, her lithe frame coiled with strength. The children were under their protection now, and no predator, giant or otherwise, would claim them. The giant sneered, swinging his club in a wide arc. Torok ducked, the weapon splintering a nearby pine. Lyra darted to the side, her movements fluid, and scooped the children into her arms. "Stay close," she rumbled, her voice a soothing contrast to the chaos. She set them behind a massive boulder, shielding them with her body. Torok charged, his fists like battering rams. The giant swung again, but Torok caught the club mid-swing, his muscles straining as he held it fast. The giant's eyes widened in surprise. Few could match his strength. With a roar, Torok twisted the club free, hurling it into the underbrush. The giant snarled and lunged, tackling Torok to the ground. The earth shook as they grappled, fists pounding, fur and red hair flying. Behind the boulder, Mia peeked out, her heart racing. Sam clutched her arm, whispering, "Are they going to win?" Ella's small voice added, "I'm scared." Mia swallowed her fear. "They're protecting us," she said firmly. "We have to help." Lyra, sensing the children's resolve, turned to them. "Stay hidden," she urged, but Mia shook her head. "We can distract him." Before Lyra could protest, Mia grabbed a stick and hurled it at the giant's back. It bounced harmlessly off his shoulder, but he paused, turning his head. Sam and Ella joined in, throwing pebbles and shouting. The giant's focus wavered, his grip on Torok loosening. That was all Torok needed. With a surge of strength, he drove his shoulder into the giant's chest, sending him staggering back. Lyra seized a moment, leaping onto the giant's shoulders. Her powerful arms wrapped around his neck, squeezing as he flailed. The giant roared, clawing at her, but Lyra held fast, her silver fur gleaming in the moonlight. Torok rose, his breath heavy but his resolve unbroken. He charged again, slamming his fist into the giant's midsection. The blows landed like thunderclaps, each one forcing the giant back. The children cheered, their small voices cutting through the chaos. "Keep going," Mia shouted. The giant's strength began to falter. His swings grew wild, his footing unsteady. Lyra tightened her hold, and Torok delivered a final, bone-rattling punch to the giant's jaw. The red-haired behemoth swayed, his eyes rolling back, and collapsed with a crash that echoed through the forest. The ground trembled one last time, then fell silent. Torok and Lyra stood over the fallen giant, their chests heaving. The children rushed from their hiding spot, their fear replaced by awe. "You did it!" Sam yelled, his eyes wide. Ella ran to Lyra, hugging her massive leg. Lyra's stern expression softened, and she patted the girl's head with a gentle, oversized hand. Torok knelt before Mia, who stood tallest among the children. "Why are you here?" he asked, his voice deep but kind. Mia explained through sniffles. They'd been camping with their parents when they wandered too far, chasing a deer. A storm had separated them, and they'd been lost for hours. Lyra's eyes met Torok's. They knew these woods better than any map. "We will take you back," Lyra said, her tone leaving no room for doubt. She lifted Ella and Sam onto her shoulders, while Torok offered Mia his hand. The girl hesitated, then took it, her small fingers dwarfed as they trekked through the forest. The Sasquatches moved with purpose, their senses attuned to every sound and scent. The giant, bound with vines and left unconscious, would trouble no one for now. Torok led the way, parting branches and clearing paths, while Lyra kept the children calm with soft hums and stories of the forest's kinder spirits. After an hour, they reached the edge of a campsite. Lanterns glowed, and frantic voices called the children's names. Mia gasped, spotting her parents. "Mom! Dad!" she cried, running forward. Sam and Ella followed, their shouts drawing joyful sobs from the adults. Torok and Lyra lingered in the shadows, unseen. The reunion warmed their hearts, but they belonged to the wild, not the world of humans. As the children hugged their parents, Mia glanced back at the trees, her eyes searching. She whispered, "Thank you," knowing they were there. With a final nod to each other, Torok and Lyra melted into the forest, their massive forms vanishing into the mist. The wilderness was safe again, its guardians ever watchful, their legend growing with every whispered tale of the Sasquatches who fought a giant to save 3 lost souls.